Hey guys, I'm Kat. It is really cold in this Utah place that I live in. If you haven't heard, it's been raining, snowing, really hot, raining, snowing, really hot, and that's just how it is in Utah, and it's just the greatest feeling in the world. I can't even express it. But anyway, welcome back to the 30-day writing challenge, and today's subject is my earliest memory. I had to go through a lot of memories in my head that for some reason, I can't remember anything below maybe the age of 11. I don't know why that is, but that's just how it is. But there is this particular memory that I have that I think is both crazy and scary that I've had, but at the same time, a really amazing memory that I am really glad that I have. So, without further ado, and droning on more and more, which I do all the time, let me tell you this memory. So, I couldn't have been any older than 6 years old. I may have been younger than that, but I can't remember. And my mom and my sister and I, we lived in this apartment, and our apartment was on the ground floor, and my mom had left the house either to go to work or to get something from the gas station. I can't remember. But it was a couple of minutes away, and me and my sister were at home by ourselves, and we were in our cute little tiny dressing bedtime gown things, and we were sitting right in front of the TV, and we were watching Dragon Tales. I remember that very distinctively, that we were watching Dragon Tales, and we were sitting there, and we saw this wisp of smoke just go across the TV, and we weren't sure if that was the TV or part of the show or anything like that, so we kind of just ignored it. But then a thicker, blacker mass of smoke just went further across the TV and obscured some of the picture. So my sister, she gets up and she goes into the kitchen, and all I hear while I'm watching Dragon Tales is, "There's a fire in here." And I remember I looked at her, and I remember thinking, there's a fire in the kitchen? So I got up and I looked, and there was this mass of flame just rising from the stove. And I remember in an instant, her and I went into this panic escape mode, and she runs into the living room, grabs my dog, and I'm already out the front door. I'm like, fuck you, I'm leaving. And she's got the dog, she's going out of the back door. And I remember the sense of panic, I had lost my sister, but we met in the front of the apartments, and it was just a sudden realization that this crazy experience is happening, and this is awful and catastrophic, and we're gonna, everything is it's just frightening. And this lady, our neighbor, comes out and realizes what's happening. Our fire alarm's going off really loudly, and we need to call the fire department. So she hands me this phone, and I remember I was just so shaky that I couldn't do it, so I dropped it. And this was one of those really cool phones, in the 90s, the ones that were kind of bluish but see-through, so you can see into the phone, you can see all the hardware. And my sister picks it up and she starts dialing 911, and my mom arrives. And she sees what's going on, and I'm freezing, so this lady takes me up to her apartment, and she gives me a pair of sweatpants so I'm not so cold. And I go back outside, and I see my mom just being a Wonder Woman badass that she is, and I swear to God, she put out most of this fire herself. But she's going to every single fire extinguisher, and she's literally punching in the glass to get the fire extinguisher out. So she punches in the glass and grabs the fire extinguisher, and she runs into the apartment. And I remember every single time she ran into that apartment, I was scared because I knew that there was a chance that she wouldn't come out. And she would punch the glass, take the other one, use it, come out, do it again. And she had gone through maybe 3 fire extinguishers before the the fire department got there. Once they got there, they did their thing and were putting out the fire, and my mom's hands were just so bloody from punching in this glass. But she had gone into mega mom mode that she hadn't even noticed that she was bleeding. Probably not until after all this was over. And we found out that the reason the fire had started was because my mom had left the stove on, because we had a gas stove, and she had left a thing of oil next to the stove, and it had somehow been knocked over. and we're not quite sure how that happened, but that's how it started. And my sister and I were more upset, not just because of the fire, but we were upset because, one, our blankets, our favorite blankets that we had gotten, were burned. And, and I think this was like November 1st. I'm not sure. Because we had Halloween candy and it got destroyed, and that was what we were upset about. But other than that, my mom and my sister and I and my dog were all safe. And I just remember that was the very first sense of actual, genuine, life-threatening fear that I have felt. I felt it before, but that was one of the times that has really stuck out to me. And I find it a really amazing memory, but at the same time a really scary memory, and interesting that I've had one like that before. Side note, another memory of being in the same apartment that I have actually kind of goes along with this one, sort of, but not really, actually doesn't at all. But I remember me and my sister and my stepbrother were watching the very first Scream movie, and for me, I love the Scream movies, I love them all, they're all my favorite, but we were watching them, and we were watching the very beginning, and it's the part where Drew Barrymore's character is crawling across the ground trying to scream for her family, and they're going, she's crawling, and then her parents come in and they see the popcorn and stuff, and right when the picture comes up, when you see her body hanging from the tree, our power went out. And it was like literally all three of us were screamed because our power went out. It was like the most perfect timing ever, and our power goes out, and all three of us literally, we hear our sliding glass door open, and we literally see someone poke their head into our apartment, notice that we see them, and quickly get out and close it. And I just remember all of us staring at this part of, like, at our sliding glass door, and the lights come on, and our parents come in, and we're all telling them, we're like, somebody just peeked into our apartment, somebody did that, like, that was probably done on purpose, this person was probably going to try to kill us, and then all this stuff. And obviously, because we're all young children, and we're watching Scream, that we're automatically going to think, oh, this person cut the power lines and was going to come in and kill us, and all this stuff, which it probably was just epic timing that right when we saw her body hanging from the tree, the power goes out, and then this random human being just is like, oh, what's going on in here? But yeah, side note, random story, that kind of, the only reason they tie together is because it was in the same apartment. But so there you go, that was one of my earliest memories that I kind of have. I'm pretty sure more can be called up, but it's kind of, I mean, I know it's not one of the, a really silly or funny or cute memories, but it's a one that's gonna probably stick out in my head for a while. I know that ever since that fire, my mom and my sister are really just kind of freaked out by fire, and whenever we smell something burning, we get freaked out, or we're very adamant on blowing out candles and stuff like that ever since that fire, and keeping oil away from the stove, stuff like that. But I'm just really glad that nobody got hurt and that we're still here today. But that was one of my my earliest memories that I can recall. I'm pretty sure I have more, and if I do, if you'd like to hear them, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And also, if you are liking this 30-day writing challenge thing that I'm doing, I'm actually kind of enjoying it, even though it's day 2. I'm still enjoying it. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you want to tell me one of your earliest memories down in the comments below, I would love to read them and hear all your funny, scary, catastrophic, or any really story that you have for me. Also, if you would like to, which you should hit that subscribe button, and so you can be notified every time I make a new video. I know that I can be boring sometimes, but not always. So yeah, and again, hopefully I keep doing these 30-day challenge things because it's fun for me to do, and it has actually been helping me. After I did the 5 issues with social media, even though it was just one thing, it still kind of helped me write a little bit, which was so weird. So yes, I'm hoping by the end of this 30 days, I will be able to write my book. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and yep. I can't think of anything else. So, thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day and a beautiful night, and this is Kat signing off. Bye.